Hey folks, how's it going? What y'all up to? Good morning, South Africans. Good evening to those here in the U.S. It's Chris Wyatt, Pittsburgh. How's it going? Just waiting for this stream to come up over here. It's a little slow. A little faster would be nice. There we go. Let's see how the sound is. A little faster would be nice. Sounds good. All right. Welcome back to the program. So, I hope you're all doing well. Let's see, 330 kilometers. It's a trip. Whoops. Oh, I just lost my gummy there. There we go. Oh, there we go. Went very far out of the way. I had to dig it up. What we got there? Jean Babylon. Blue Coat, Broken Arrow, West Berlin, Double D, Charlene. What's going on, guys? So, I do have something I want to share with you all. I have to say that my drive was worth it. What an incredible evening. What a wonderful, warm, hospitable welcome I have received this evening from the Oosthuizens. And boy, what a nice greeting from Bruce's service dog. Listen, this was an incredible evening. I really enjoyed myself. My thanks to my hosts. They were wonderful. We'll be spending time again tomorrow. We're doing a live broadcast tomorrow. And should be pretty good. Hope you guys enjoy it. That's coming up tomorrow. After the rugby on Rugby Ascendant, 2 games. Lions and Stormers from Ellis Park. And then it's the Bulls hosting the Sharks at Loftus. So what I got to say is 2 things about this trip over here. West Berlin, welcome. Keep your membership. You've been there for a while, but thank you. So 2 things I want to share with you guys very quickly about this. Number 1, what an absolutely incredible family. Full of achievers, just absolutely amazing people. All of them. All the adults are really accomplished, and Michael looks like he's going to be a very accomplished young man as well. It was incredible. Athletes, well, I mean, it's incredible people, you know. It's that's the first thing I want to say. The Oosthuizens are amazing. My privilege to spend time with them tonight. I really, really, really super enjoyed my time with them tonight. In fact, I didn't come back until 11:30. You know, I had to finally broke myself away and not overstay my welcome. I probably did overstay my welcome by a little bit, so I apologize for that. But it was really nice chatting with them. What I have to say is that's the first thing. They're amazing people. Number 2, I'm saddened. I'm deeply saddened, folks. Truly, truly saddened. Not by meeting them in person, not at all, but by South Africa's loss. South Africa's lost amazing people, and many, many more. But this is just a family that's truly amazing, wonderful, human, friendly, polite, respectful, talented. This is a loss that I don't know that South Africa can continue to recover from the loss of people like this. These are these are own goals that the government of South Africa has created with its policies and its procedures and its persecution, its behavior. It really saddens me to the core to hear that South Africa's lost people this amazing. And when I spent time with them this evening and saw what truly amazing people they are in person rather than just through a Zoom session, it really rang home with me that this is a tragedy for South Africa that's unnecessary. It's a complete own goal. And then as we talked about a number of things, we laughed, we joked, we had fun. We also talked about horror stories, the truly shocking and unfair and unjust, the things that this family had to put up with, being harassed and persecuted simply because of their skin pigmentation and living in South Africa. It's not something that anyone should have to go through. I have to say that, you know, some of the things they share with me were crazy. Talked to Lehani about her biking. She's an incredible bike rider. What's the right cyclist is the term, yeah. Chatted with Vince about many of the things he did back in South Africa. To Chris, that's Levi's fiance. Levi, what an accomplished young lady. Wow. Man, oh man, oh man. Boy, I'll tell you what. You think Bruce the service dog's amazing when you saw him sitting there on her lap? Wait till you see him do his tricks. This dog is talented. And apparently it's not just dogs. She trained a rooster to behave the same way when she was in South Africa. It's something else, folks. It was something else. These are amazing people, and it is our gain, and it is South Africa's loss. A truly sad loss for South Africa. Chafin Stevenson Photography, what's going on there? It is sad, a tragedy, a shame for our country. Yep, Leona. Hey. Good morning to everyone. I hope you're all well out there. Do I look tired, Iceman? I'm a little tired. Maybe it's the glasses. I put the glasses back on. A little tired. Yep. And I thought I wasn't hungry, but now I'm hungry again. So I stopped on the way at a Burger King, and I bought 4 burgers. And I got in the car, reached over and pulled one out. Then I'm going up a mountain to go through a tunnel. A burger. They put onions on it. Nobody puts onions on burgers at Burger King. When did that start? Oh, it ruined it for me. I quickly put it on the dash, pulled the next one out, onions. Ugh. Next one, all 4 burgers. And it ruined the taste. It ruined it. So I just ate the burgers like, they were terrible. Ugh, ruined it with those onions. They never put onions on there unless you ask for them. I didn't ask for them. It just kind of ruined it for me. Yeah. Ugh. Raw onions on a burger is amazing. Well, that's a matter of opinion, my friend. It's not amazing. I think I'd rather eat dirt. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, Colonel, and everyone's so happy to see you. Well, happy to see you there, Crystal. What's up? Yeah, so I'm in my hotel room. I'm ensconced here now, and the internet isn't ideal. It's okay. It's not great. But anyway, so it's awesome. So apparently, I don't think there's many South Africans around here. Certainly not from the refugee program, but meeting this family is amazing. Yes, I really am an onion hater. It's disgusting. It ruined my meal. I was offered food when I arrived. Very, very, very typical South Africans, but I didn't want to intrude, and it was already late. I don't want to sit there and eat when everyone else wasn't eating. I did remove them, Rudolph, but the stench of the onions ruined the ambiance and the flavor of my burger. I like writing dad jokes. Yeah, ruined the flavor. So I don't know if any of you have ever driven across Pennsylvania, but it is a big state. It is 600 kilometers plus from one side to the other, east to west, west to east, and 400 kilometers north to south. It is a long drive. And I'm in the middle, and it still took me 3.5 hours to get here. It means U.S. Army War College. The camera doesn't revert the other way around. That's funny. No, French onion soup, not a good idea, Iceman. Not a good idea. Nope. No, Paul, there's you put onions on a Bradbrookie, that stuff's going to be fed to the dog. It's going to be fed to the dog. Nope. Speaking of dogs, oh my goodness. Bruce is super friendly. Super friendly, and he is super talented. Boy, she is training really well. I feel like Bruce right now. You know, he did tricks, so he got treats. So I'm doing a trick. I'm doing a stream, so I get a treat. Just like Bruce. Yeah. Wow, no, that's amazing. Maybe I can film some of that tomorrow. Some of his tricks. Some of you watch their Instagram channels, so you know about it. Caramelized onions. Yeah. I'm losing support. Well, I couldn't lose much more support and still have a channel. YouTube is already hiding my streams. I'm surprised there's 132 people here right now. Armed robbery. Gee, many crickets. Welch's fruit snacks. These are tasty. They're expensive though. Used to be like $12 for a case of 12. Now they're $28. Yeah, I don't think dogs are allowed to eat onions. But you got my point. There was a time I could eat onion rings, but I'm not a real big fan. Sorry, I think the glare from the cameras or from the glasses. Crystal says there won't be any onions. Well, thank you very much. Vanessa says, always look forward to your informative news and chit chats. Well, it's night owls, Vanessa, so it's just kind of a chit chat tonight. Met a guy from the Caribbean named Kilo. He used to eat peeled brown onions like apples. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh, yeah, made with Concord grapes, yeah. Maybe this is real. Yep. You're always supposed to eat 15 pieces, though. I eat the whole bag. Yep. Yep. It is made with grapes. Yep. It's gluten-free, as if I care. Concord grape, yep. Dad ate onions and radishes. Oh, I like radishes. I like radishes. Last night at the Veterans Organization, they had a baby. Infant was eating. I thought they were radishes. They were pickled eggs. They were just tiny eggs. Anyway, so out here in hill country in the western part of Pennsylvania, where the three rivers meet, the Allegheny, Monongahela, come together and form the Ohio. The Ohio River starts at Pittsburgh. The city literally sits in a V. So you got Monongahela, the Allegheny rivers, they meet there, and then they flow out to the Ohio like that. So it's like in a Y. Pretty cool history. Used to be a fort here, Fort Pitt, back in the colonial days. John Oberholzer says onions are medicine. You say so. Yeah, I get where some people don't like the skin on grapes. I get that. I don't like eating grapes. I ate them when I was younger, but not a big fan of grapes. I mean, eating that is. Anyway, so the plan for tomorrow is Rugby Ascendant here in the morning, 2 games. I'll get my breakfast early if I get up. And then we got the Stormers. We actually got the lineups. Let me go grab that. Excuse me. So I went to the bookstore before I left town. Bought a couple of things, but that's for my orthopedic surgeon. But this is the lineups here. Check this out. $5. African myths and legends. Lots of stories from Africa, Southwest Africa. Bundu people. They must be in Angola, because they're not in South Africa. Anyway, I got that, plus a bunch of magazines. That's for later. That's for later. But the lineups, okay. I want to go fly fishing in northern state, river surrounded by forest one day. Okay. So for the Lions, Kuhn Horn is at fullback, Kelly Mpeku on the right wing, Henku van Vyk, and Bronson Mills in the center. Angelo Davids, former Blitzbach star, is on the left wing. Chris Smith, former Bull at fly half. Mornay Fundenberg, the scrum half extraordinaire. Frankie Horn is the captain. Bato Shlakeni, and then Siba Mahasha, who was a new debutant last week. Darian Landsberg, Etienne Oosthuizen, RF Skuman, PJ Bota, and SJ Kotsa. And off the bench, Franco Marais, Eddie Davids from the Grecos, Conrad van Vuren, Reinhard Nothnagel, Siba Olma, Renzo Duplessis, Nico Stan, and Eric Cronje. For my Stormers, who need to get off their ass and win a game after losing 2 games to the Sharks, it's embarrassing to say the very least. Warwick Galant at the fullback position, Dylan Mart, also from the Grecos, Wanda Silly Simonani and Jonathan Roche in the center, Leia Lenzas on the left wing, Sasha Feinberg Ungumzulu at the fly half, Stefan Unger is the scrum half, Evan Ruiz, Ben Jason Dixon, Paul DeVilliers. The captain is J.D. Schickerling. This is an interesting development. Audrey Smith, Sazi Sandi, J.J. Kotsa, and Tuku Kunu. Off the bench, Andre Hugo Fenta, Brendan Matongo, Zachary Porthan, Connor Evans, Marcel Tinnison, Haicheve Diamane, Imad Khan, and Yuri Matia. The official is Christopher Allison and Hanru van Rooyen, Stephen Hedendhuis, and the TMO's Myers van Westhuizen. That is the first game. When on earth will you find time to read those books? I find time for it. Bulls, David Creel at fullback, Sebastian de Klerk on the right wing, Keenan Moody, Harold Forster in the center. Curtly Arnsey on the left wing, Andre Pollard at fly half, Ambrose Papier starts the game. At scrum half, Nazim Carr, Elric Lowe, Marcel Coetzee. It doesn't say who the captain is. I'm guessing it's Marcel Coetzee or it's Ron Nordkia. Ron Vermaak, front row, Mornay Smith, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, and Alutu Shakweni. Off the bench, Marco van Staden, Escam, Steve Satole, Vilko Lowe, Kobus Visa, Jean-Andre Rudolph, Paul Devet, Billy LaRue, and Stravino Jacobs. That's a strong bench. You got Marco van Staden, Vilko Lowe, Kobus Visa, Jean-Andre Rudolph, Paul Devet, and Billy LaRue on the bench. That's huge. For the Sharks, it's Yaku Williams at fullback, Edwin van der Merwe on the right wing, Lorenzo Julius and Andre Esterhuizen is the captain in the center, Makazole Mapimpi on the left wing, Jordan Hendrickson starts off as the fly half, Jaden Hendricks at scrum half, Pepsi Buthelezi, Vince Chuchuka, Tino Masavera from Zimbabwe, and the locks are Emil van Heerden, Jason Jenkins. Off the front row, Vincent Kalk, Edwin Swart, and Oxenche. Replacements off the bench are Fez Mbata, Patu Ganyane, Andre Jacobs, Corne Rawl, Thomas Dyer, Ross Burde, Sian Masuku, and Yal Penke. Referee is Mornay Ferreira. Assistant referees are Griffin Colby, Jonathan Laudering, and the TMO is Quentin Immelman. There you go. So that's for the rugby in the morning, which I'll be calling. Just a few hours away now. Cytic stress, same time. The process for us, applied 26 is going to take long. Okay, Debbie. What took you so long, Debbie? I'm curious why you waited so long to show interest in the program. Did you not know about it? Were you misled by people? Hey, Keith Alderson, what's going on in Coventry, brother? Fly fishing. Audiobooks. No. Audiobooks aren't tactile experiences. I grew up with very little in the way of personal possessions. I had a stamp collection that was burned in a house fire. And books became my friend. So I love books. I love that feeling of touching them. The Road to Heaven from the Ronga-speaking people of Mozambique. Africa south of Sahara is a land of wide-ranging traditions, history, and varying cultures with 54 countries, over 2,000 languages as well. Africa south of Sahara isn't 54 countries. Africa, including Sahara, is 54 countries, so they got that wrong. Need more ethnic groups speaking those languages. The continent has always had a powerful tradition of oral storytelling, and despite the diversity, relative lack of early written records, and the ravages of colonialism and slavery, the continent still possesses a rich body of myths, folk tales, and legends that often share similar elements, characters, and ideas between peoples. Anyway, so Dr. Kwado Osi Nyame Jr. is a lecturer in African literature and culture at the School of Oriental and African Studies in London. His interests include African and African diaspora, world traditions, and relationship between literature, performance cultures, human rights, civil liberties, and African development. He's published numerous articles and contributed to many books. Jake Jackson, the editor, has written, edited, and contributed to over 20 books. Yeah, okay. So Flame Tree Publishing in the UK. And I'm trying to see, it was $35 as manufacturer's suggested retail price, and I paid $5 for it. $5. You pick up a book and your brain switches to nap time. Not me. Oh, you were misled. You were told it was just for farmers. Yeah, that's why I was worried about, Debbie. Yep, people lie. It's a shame that they hid my content from so many people. 2 weeks since the last watch. Been busy aside sorting new, application documentation. Okay, Beulah. Don't go all witchcraft on us. No. Well, I read Norse mythology. I read Greek mythology. I read Native American mythology. I read African mythology. I love mythology. I love folk tales. Good stuff. It tells you a lot about a people. The things they value, the oral traditions they carry forward. It's good stuff. I love it. Who do I support in the USA Springboks game? Springboks. Beulah arrived safely. All right, Beulah, where did you arrive safely at? You can just tell us the state, that's fine. Son-in-law and daughter love fly fishing. I'm so sorry, Debbie, that you were misled by other people who lied to you. It happens here too. Oh, Massachusetts. Okay, Bill. Well, it looks like we're going to have big New England get-togethers because a lot of people are showing up in New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts. So definitely get up there. Excuse me. Damn it. Why not your home country? I just said, Buster, that I read my home country. Did you not listen to what I said? Did you not listen to what I said? I said Indian, Native American folktales. I said that. I mean, why not my own country? I do. Plus, I read folktales about America, but they're not as interesting. Our history isn't thousands of years old. It's measured in hundreds of years. Hey, Nina Khan. How you doing? Welcome to you. I just said my home country, man. You weren't listening. Sorry. Interesting. We had 145 people here a minute ago. Now we're down to 131. What do you mean, huh? You just asked me why not my home country, and I answered. Oh, sorry. 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 Well, see, that's the problem when you say why not your home country. I was talking about mythology. You're talking about rugby. My topic was mythology. You were talking about the rugby. I didn't get that. You got to tell me that. Gotcha. Thank you, guys. No wonder he's confused, and I'm confused. All he said was why not your home country. That doesn't tell me much. Because I've been a Springbok fan since 1982. I've been a USA fan since we got a rugby team, which came after that. So we didn't have a national side. So I started rooting for South Africa first. Yeah. I don't have to root for the USA. They'll never beat the Springboks. So that just ain't going to happen. And of course I root for the USA. I root for them when they play England, they play Scotland, they play Canada, they play Japan, obviously. And when they're in the World Cup, but they weren't in the last World Cup. Hey, Charles, what's going on? Anyway, like I said, what a tragic loss for South Africa. Lose people of such fine quality, such talented people, such hardworking, honest people. Really is a heartbreaker, man. Truly, truly sucks. These people, where they live at is livable. I didn't see the whole place, but it's livable. But I saw videos of where they used to live. Things are very different. Maybe Rudolph, maybe one day, but that's a ways off. Rugby's popular in America already without South Africans. The book is brand new. I just bought it, nice man. $5 today. Yep. Hey, Meerkat. We already have Afrikaners playing on a rugby team. Hunka Khemiswise is one of them. And our scrum half is another. You're allergic to Tide. Well, that sucks. Yeah, Tide does smell nice. You're going to have to try a different detergent. It really sucks to find out, especially if you went and bought a whole tub of it. Well, that's it. Damn it, no more. They were tasty. They were tasty. Yep, been happening for years. Doctors, lawyers, engineers. Now the blue collar salt of the earth South Africans. Yep. That book looks brand new. Yep, I already read that. All right, so yeah. You guys were jumping in the chat saying a lot of stuff early on, but now slow down. Do try to remember to briefly mention the subject that your comment refers to in the chat. It helps when there's a time shift. Yeah, exactly. Keith, that's correct. I mean, I didn't know what he was talking about until somebody pointed out. I'm in Pittsburgh. That's what the title says, Tractor Champ. It says I'm in Pittsburgh, and that's where I'm at. I'm not in the city itself. I'm west of the city, meeting with the Oosthuizens and Bruce the service dog. Wow, what an incredibly smart dog he is. And what an incredibly smart young lady that trained him. Wow, she's very talented. Very talented. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to do the 2 rugby broadcasts in the morning. Then they've got some errands to run, which works out perfectly. And then we're going to link up tomorrow around noon, 1 o'clock. And we're going to give you a live broadcast. And I'll talk to these guys. Should be incredible. I hope you guys have a chance to watch. It's going to be about 8 o'clock South African time. on Saturday. So I hope you get a chance to watch here on this channel. Yep. So, yep. And then I've offered to take them around for somewhere they want to go because they don't really have transport. So kind of handy having somebody with a car, although I have to make 2 trips because it's a lot of folks plus a dog. Okay. Yeah, more likes would be great. Levi and Bruce have a bright future. Yes. Rebel Refugee, they sure do. They sure do. They have a bright future, period. Levi, Chris, and they have a wonderful future. I want to say we're happy here in Erie. 2 weeks in their accommodations. Got a 3-bedroom house, 1898. Very well. That's fantastic. Great, Jason. I will be coming to Erie as part of my trip when I do this again, but it won't be, probably won't be till April, maybe May. I'm coming through Pittsburgh again, and then I'm going to Columbus. I'm going to see my sister in Newark, go to Columbus, meet with refugees, and I'm driving up to Cleveland. I'll meet with more refugees, and then Erie is a short drive over. And I'll go to Erie, and then I'll be able to come back from Pennsylvania. So keep that in mind. Blood and buckskins. No, I don't know it. The rugby is at 7:30 my time, so that's your time as well in Connecticut. So that would be the first game at 7:30 in the morning. The second one is at 10 o'clock. President Trump is no longer president. Do you think the African Refugee Program will stop? You get this question a lot from friends that want to apply. Why does it matter, Debbie? Let me ask you, why does it matter? Because, I mean, in your question is apparently possibly a hidden question. The hidden question being, well, if President Trump stops, does that mean the refugees have to come back? No. Will the program continue? It depends who becomes president. Depends who becomes president. If Marco Rubio becomes president, the program will continue. If J.D. Vance becomes president, probably continue. If some hate wanker from the Democratic Party becomes president, they'll probably stop it because they're racist and bigots. No, it's okay, Tractor Champ. It's okay. At least you came here and found me. Yeah. Pittsburgh, PA. That's correct. No, I don't know many other Pittsburghs. Wait, there's a Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, I think, but it's spelled differently. It's P-I-T-S-B or just wait. Yeah. No, I'm in the Pittsburgh. Yep. The Allegheny Mountains over here. Yep. It's okay, Tractor Champ. Wasn't trying to embarrass you. Just trying to say it's in the title. That's why it kind of threw me off. Yeah, Debbie, tell people if they're remotely interested in the program. Okay, see, here's the thing. I don't understand. If you are a victim of persecution and you're a South African who's an Afrikaner or a racial minority, you're living in South Africa, and you have any inclination you might want to get in this program, why would you even hesitate? You don't have to accept it. You can always tell them no, which would suck, but still waiting. 6 families have gone over already, going soon. Applied after me, so frustrating. Blonde Topaz, look, I don't have a lot of empathy. My friend went through the PRM email in February, and I met with a family today that's here that did the same thing. He's not here. A year later. He got his first call today, after a year. After he flew up there as part of the pilot program. They didn't call him back for a year. What are my thoughts on the State of the Nation address? The State of the Nation address in South Africa? As a joke. Ramaphosa is full of it. He's just telling fairy tales. So, Blonde Topaz, he waited a year for a call. After paying out of his pocket to fly to Pretoria to participate in the first 100 that got interviewed. He waited a year. Thank you for helping us so much. You're welcome, Mariki. I'm not sure how we help, but you're welcome. No, I'm with you, Blonde. No, it doesn't make any sense. To me, it's as I've said for many, many months, there's a screw up in the program. Yep. Oh, well, it's not a State of the Nation address. It's State of the Union address, Jason, here. State of the Union. State of the Union address was brilliant for the first half. Then it turned into political theater, which, I didn't really care for, but it was still very entertaining. Trump, can you believe these people? They're just crazy. That was hilarious. They're crazy. He called the Democrats crazy because they are. He's like, look at them. They can't even stand. Yeah. Sally said we did our statement of interest in May, then only now had contact. Yep. No, Jason, no need to apologize. When you said State of the Nation, that's South Africa. State of the Union is the United States. There's no need to apologize. I mean, the only time people need to apologize, they've been rude or disrespectful. And so, yeah, you don't need to apologize. Don't need to apologize, man. Okay. And these people applied after me. Yeah, Blonde, Topaz. I mean, lots of people have applied after you, and some have come over. And many who applied before you haven't come over. But no one's been denied. Not a single case has been denied that's been a legitimate case. What I mean by that is if they were qualified. If somebody didn't live in South Africa and they applied, they weren't allowed to continue. So they weren't denied, they just weren't allowed to continue. 3 weeks in, Social Security number, bank account, EAD, emergency room visit, ambulance ride. Imagine the next few weeks. I am 59 again this year, double D, and I've never been in an ambulance. Never had to go to the hospital, except when I took myself there for emergency surgery. Yeah, I heard about the young Republicans, and I wrote back and said, the Trump administration isn't interested. Rob Hersoff suggested that I be a special envoy for minority rights in South Africa. That was months ago. The Trump administration didn't listen to that. I threw my hat into the ring. They're not interested. Also, the young Republicans are getting some facts wrong, and they're not helping the argument, so that's a bit of a problem. Yep. But they mean well. Does Brent Bozell's tweet make you think it won't reach 4,500 or that he was uninformed at the time of the writing of the tweet? No, I think that what he said was a statement of fact, but I don't think it was the full story. What he said is probably true, that the cap is still 7,000 for South Africans. Yep. But he was trying to get across the point, because I think he was trying to temper expectations, that Reuters got the story wrong. Reuters all but stated that 4,500 people come over every month. Now, when you watch my video, I analyzed it and said that they could, if the following things happen. It gives them the ability to do it. I said they can do it. They have the capacity, because it's 150 people per day. We've exceeded it on occasion. But they have to want to do it. That's the thing. So, State of the Union clapping seals one side, corpses the other until the ice hopping winter's rocked up. Yeah, that's pretty true. Hockey game at 7 p.m. What hockey game? No hockey game. I've got hockey on Sunday at 1 p.m. No, I said do the intake questionnaire or you won't be eligible. Seems to be true. Since the intake questionnaire, everyone has happened very fast. Yeah, no, if you don't do the intake questionnaire, you're dead in the water. I said that from November 4th. Is there a time frame on applications? What do you mean by that, Dean Bota? I don't understand. What time frame? What do you mean by time frame? Tractor Champ says 9:30 in California, 12:30 in the morning, PA. 3 hours difference. Yep, took us 9.5 months to get to the U.S., but very happy now. It took 3 days to get here. Oh, you in San Diego? Must be frustrating for your friend to be waiting for that call since February. It's so good to know that nobody's been denied. Yeah, no, it's very frustrating for everybody. But I mean, it's hard for me to be empathetic, because I get people come on and like literally after 6 weeks, well, this is not fair. Can you intervene? Can you do something about my case? I've been waiting 6 weeks. 6 weeks? And then I tell them, well, the 6 weeks you're talking about includes 4 weeks of a government shutdown. So you've really been waiting 2 weeks. They don't want to hear that. But that's the truth. If there's nobody working at the inn, then the time doesn't count. And so that's something a lot of people don't want to hear, but it's true. You want to know that's the wrong weather. That's weather as in the rain or sunshine. Weather, WH, is what you're looking for, Dean. Whether South Africa acceptable. But I mean, there's no one's been declined. So I don't. What do you mean by time? There's no time frame. Going back to everybody who has put in a statement of interest or a PRM email and then intake questionnaire, nobody's been denied as per the U.S. government. After the EO in February, took me to land there. Yep. So, well, LD, when did you submit your stuff? Ooh, Tulpy, what's going on, man? What's happening out there in California? California. I wish they all could be California girls. No, they lost their mind, man. I want the California girls. There are only families here, no singles or couples. Must you do the intake even if you were contacting the no, James. No. It says on the website, if you've been contacted, you don't do it. If you have been contacted, you got to do it. That's what I said. Yep. Michael says, I also did PRM, SOI, and the intake questionnaire and heard nothing. No case number. I haven't had military service or criminal records, so I'm a little confused. What are you confused about? What are you confused about, Michael? Do you think there's like 5 people in the program? There's thousands of people. There's lots of people who haven't heard from anybody. Yep. Maybe you'll hear soon, Michael. Maybe you'll hear soon. Exactly. They're addressing these issues right now, and hopefully they're resolving them. What I can tell you, folks, is with a high degree of confidence, I will tell you the following. With a high degree of confidence, I will tell you that the flights will resume on March 9th, at least for some people. I can tell you with a high degree of confidence that someone will be flying on March 9th to the United States, refugee flight. Hopefully that gives you some comfort. And hopefully this pause will sort the mess out. That's the plan anyway. No, Utopia, I haven't looked at any emails. My morning has been research, broadcast, petrol, orthopedic surgeon, 4-hour drive to Western Pennsylvania, 3 hours with the Ostoisens, and back to my hotel room. I'm broadcasting now. I haven't looked at the email. I've looked at some WhatsApps when I was sitting in the clinic. Okay, we applied in the beginning of January. I've not been contacted at all. Do we need to reply? No. You apply to me in January. Do not reapply. No. That's part of the problem. That's why they're having these issues, because people are gumming up the works. And not fake applications, but people putting their same application in over and over again, despite the fact that I've told people not to do that. If you do that, you're just going to put yourself in the back of the queue. I was quite disappointed with IOM. The doctor referred one of my daughter's evaluation, but they never informed us, so we were just not moving on from medical student. Well, that's a shame. Is it sorted now, Jean-Bobby John? Yes, the numbers come out on March 5th for who came. But remember, people only travel from the 1st of February until the 20th. So only 20 days of travel. Says found out she didn't do the double submit on the forms. She got sorted 2 months after you said she should check that. Sorry to hear that. It hardly matters. We can speculate, but it's meaningless. He started a program that didn't exist, gave hope to hopeless. End of story. What is my personal finance saying? I don't see anyone named my personal finance. Oh, there's. What was Trump's motive with the refugee program? Genuine help or political posturing? Political posturing for what? Why? Excuse me. So, any children in the room? Make them leave. Why the fuck does Donald Trump need political posturing with a collapsed state? Why does he need to posture with a failed state? Who gives a crap about South Africa? Nobody. Nobody except leftists who want to parrot their narrative and wallow in the world of apartheid. Political posturing for what? We don't need to curry favor with South Africans. We need to curry favor with the African Union. We need to curry favor with anyone. Political posturing for what? For what? Political posturing would be to offer Germans refugee status. That would be political posturing. Political posturing would be to offer Icelanders refugee status. That would be posturing. Trump did the right thing. He's the only person that gave a shit in political office around the world. Political posturing. I mean, that's it. Explain yourself. Explain yourself. Political posturing. That doesn't make any sense at all. To whom? For what? What advantage is that? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I heard that bullshit last year. Why do people think that? You know, think through the things that people say. Political posturing. To what end? To achieve what? I mean, we already have the bullshit lies going on. You see, I saw this today. Well, the Chinese record exports to South Africa because of the trade deal. The Chinese offered no duty, and so South Africa's exports soared last year. That's bullshit. The Chinese offered that. They said it was in response to Trump's tariffs. The Chinese offered that before Trump's tariffs because they're trying to compete with America's AGOA program, which offered duty-free access, and China was losing out. So they decided to let these countries have duty-free access before Trump ever had tariffs. And oh, by the way, the tariffs from China haven't been removed on South African goods yet. They're still on goods. So there's no way that any trade increase last year has anything to do with Chinese removing, because they haven't removed the tariffs. Oh gosh, people just come up with such bullshit. It makes no sense. No sense. Ugh. I don't understand the question about I'm not trying to attack the person who wrote it, but what political posture are you talking about? What do we gain from this? Nothing. Well, Sean, Bobby John, that's because they didn't do a good job. Sorry to hear about that. So happy here where I am. It's been challenging for sure, but it's an adventure worth the wait. Thank you for all your information on this program. Looking forward to meeting when we get there. Patiently waiting for the next step. Late to your stream as I was watching the Young Republicans conference here. So there. Yeah, I don't get too excited about that, Zero Cool. We'll see. Well, tell your daughter to reach out to me. I hear there's another South African here, but I didn't know it was your daughter. Yeah, so I can spend time with her tomorrow if she'd like. Then become stupefied by the leftist lies. Anyone buys leftist bullshit's merely okay. I'd like to know, my son is a U.S. citizen in Texas. Do you think if I apply for asylum, will it make asylum case? Nope. Nope. I don't think you apply for asylum. Not a good plan. Leo, have you not been paying attention? Asylum doesn't work. 90+%, 95, 97% of all asylum applicants are denied from most countries. Very few South Africans ever get asylum. 11 out of 100 plus from a couple years ago. So it's not a good path. They're cracking down asylum too. Very few people being granted asylum right now in the United States. Primanti's not been there, Mike. Hey, Mike, where the hell have you been? I haven't seen you in ages. Do I think the admin is just for them to sort things out? Well, that would be part of sorting it out, the real Betty, catching up with all the people who've been left behind. Afrikaners are so shocked that a person of Trump's seniority on the global stage would call them by name. Nobody dare recognize them openly. Only Trump did it for the first time in decades. Well, only someone of that political stature, but I've certainly been singing the story of the Afrikaners for decades. I noticed I made mistakes in the application January. Google autofilled in the name, and now my husband shows up as my name under our family. Well, actually, that's not a question, Leonie. That's a statement, not a question. Yeah, she can email me. Yeah, and or she can. Is she in contact with the Oosthuizens? Tell her to send a note to the Oosthuizens. They'll get in touch with me. Okay. Yeah, the Oosthuizens have my contact, so she can reach out to the Oosthuizens. Yeah, please do that. Paradigm coaching. Paradigm life coaching. Okay. My mom said she watched a stream that I missed. Must have been working, coming out to Connecticut. Yeah, I will. But I mean, it's going to be some time before I go. But they've got people in New Hampshire, got people in Massachusetts, got people in Connecticut. Going to be coming out. So I'll be hitting the area, but not today. But it's the plan. So right now, my trip to Vegas is already planned. That's costing me a fortune. That'll be the one trip that it's going to eat into a lot of others. So the trip to Vegas is coming up. That's at the end of March. In the meantime, I'll look and see if I can't do another trip in the short term. We've got Virginia we need to do. I'm going to do a trip to Florida at some point. So there's Vegas, Virginia, Florida, Ohio, including Erie and Cleveland and Columbus, and then the Northeast. That's 5 more trips coming up. You're welcome, Tractor Champ. Okay. Stevens speculates that one of the reasons why Trump is bringing white people over from South Africa is to make it harder for the ANC to keep blaming white people for everything. Yeah, okay. Well, Steven said, "Hey, I may have his million subscribers, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't know what he's talking about. It doesn't make it. That doesn't make any sense. They're still going to blame white people. The Zimbabweans still blame white people, and there's none on the left. It's not going to change that. Also, Trump isn't bringing white people over. He's bringing South Africans over. See, that's someone that believes the narrative too, the bullshit narrative. So the question, might this cause our application get thrown out due to a mistake? Most likely, Leone, they'll contact you and say, "What the heck did you do here? Is this a mistake?" That's most likely what will happen. Yep. They don't throw cases out. They make an effort to contact people. So yeah, they'll never stop blaming white people. So Serpent said, or Steven said, doesn't know what he's talking about there. No, he's a smart guy, so I'm a little confused by that. Oh, Steven doesn't have the hundreds of thousands. That's Serpent. I'm thinking of Serpent. Steven is the guy with 54,000. He's a smart guy, so I don't know why he said that. Maybe speculate. Maybe speculating. But he's a smart guy. So yeah, I confused that. I thought that was Serpent said It says Steven. It's late. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not buying that story. I'm not buying that story. He's a smart guy, so I don't know. Maybe he was just speculating. Speculation's fine, but there's nothing to back that up. Okay. When you can, we'll be amazed to see you. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Never stop blaming white people. Are you coming to Colorado? Yes, yes, yes. Colorado is a plan. I would try to do it in conjunction with the Vegas trip, but it just didn't work out. It's too complicated. Too complicated. It's like Zimbabwe chase the whites away, and then begs them to come back. So this whole South Africa, yeah, sounds very familiar. Strong belief Trump administration knows time is running out for minorities. So yes, they do. Do you agree that Massachusetts is a really expensive state to live in? Everybody around us keeps asking us why we came here, as it's too expensive. Well, you didn't have a choice about coming there. Why don't you just tell them I don't have a choice? Um, so it is an expensive state, but every expensive state has places where people can afford. Colorado geographically is a beautiful place, but politically it's a disaster. It's been a while since I've been able to watch your show live. Thank you for all you're doing and staying patient with all the dumbasses. I'm still trying to understand the question about the political motivation. What was that? Was that a real question or was it just a troll? I mean, I gave the guy benefit of the doubt. Colorado must be an amazing place. That's okay. Trek Board says yes, and Colonel Chris Wyatt pleading off Connor's case. Only more than Trump and more difficult standing between them and woke liberalism, both U.S. Thanks, Chris. You're welcome. Welcome. Did you file for the reelection? Oh, I won last year. Michael, I didn't file. Someone else filed on my behalf. They went ahead and put a petition, got it signed, and put me back on the ballot, and I won. I won overwhelmingly. I won like 2,000 votes, something like that. It was close to 2,000 votes, something like that. Yeah, I won. I won like 2 or 3 times many votes running for the judge in a small portion of the district, in just the voting district for the whole thing. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, then I got running for legislature. Jacob Taylor says applied last February, was approved last week. Waiting. There you go. See. So who was here earlier was what was her name? So there you go. There's another person from last year just got approved. Amazing things and how welcome some Americans are towards South Africans. The general Americans, what's your view and options for guys? Well, okay, first off, Tulps, nobody knows who the hell you are. Nobody knows anything about South Africa. Picture of my injury. What's a picture of injury? You can't post a picture here. Oh, you sent me a picture. Oh, okay, sorry. Most people have no idea what the hell an Afrikaner is. Most people have no idea where South Africa is, just like most South Africans don't know that Pennsylvania is not a 5-minute drive. It took me 4 hours to get here, and that came from the middle of the state. If I'd been all the way on the east side, it would have been over 6 hours. Yeah, it's a big place. But when they meet you, they're very friendly. I mean, the Oosthuizens tonight told me about Leonie is out mountain biking, and the lady, she stopped for a second to get her bearings, and the lady said, "Are you okay? Need some help?" And she's using an excuse to meet her because apparently I guess she used to be a triathlete, and so she wanted to talk to her about her biking. And so the lady's been very friendly. Yeah, her birthday came. She gave her flowers and everything. It's really cool. And yeah, they have a TV that someone gave them, brand new TV in the box, never opened. Gave it to them. They have a stand for the TV. Someone, it's just lovely. I mean, I talked to people in Dallas who have a TV. Someone was throwing out their TV perfectly fine. Gave it to them. Gave it to them. I've talked to people around the country who have had people bring food baskets to them, just neighbors, just welcoming them. It's the Americans have been very, except for the leftist hate wankers on social media, the fakes, but Americans that the South Africans meet here have been, for the most part, incredibly friendly. Americans, not talking about immigrants or refugees. Most refugees are pretty cool too, but there's some turds amongst them as well. Not South Africans, the other countries. So over my country, just want out. Says Ronell, haven't been on live for a while. Enjoy seeing and listening to you, Colonel Wyatt. Loving the U.S. Grateful to be here. Well, you're here. Okay. Where the heck are you at? Did you change your name? Not your membership. Flarrell there. Where are you at? So many people coming over here and forgetting all about Colonel Wyatt. Oh, yeah. Let's come to America. Thank you, Colonel Wyatt. Oh, we never watch YouTube anymore. The young Republicans on the way to Romney. Yeah, I know about that. On the move. Can they please just deal with the people who left their homes in January only for flights to be canceled? Okay, see, on the move. Okay, hang on a second. So can they only please just deal with them? So you begrudge the people who have been waiting since February of last year, or March, or April, or May. You begrudge the people who had their flights canceled in September and October and have been living without a home since September, October. It just happened to you in January. That's a couple weeks ago. You see the conundrum there? Lots of people have been put out. And the ones put out in January and then aren't even the latest. The most latest of the people were put out on February 20th. On another live, somebody brought up a lot of YouTubers. They think all refugees are starting YouTube channels. There's now so many showing a lot of process travel. Yeah, I don't know about that, except that those people are wrong and they shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, lots of people are trying to try to profit from this program now. No doubt about that. X posting on PA politics. Okay, gotcha. Great video games. Will forever be written in the history of South Africa's second great track. Well, I hope so. You're playing a big part in history. Thanks for all you do. Well, a lot of people are trying to cut me out. CNN tried to cut me out, and they did so, and that's fine. They don't have to include me, but they did so by lying about me because they attributed their moral failings to me. They were looking in the mirror and assuming that I would behave the way that they behave. I'm an honorable person. I live by code. I don't play the bullshit that CNN plays. So CNN tried that bullshit. Yeah, and now their South Africans are trying to cut me out of the picture too. They profit from my videos and they find out what's going on and then they come over here and ignore me. That's their prerogative. No one owes me anything. Professor G. Probably because he stated that Afrikaners need to come with their culture posturing with the Democrats, using Afrikaners to make a point about failed immigration. I have no idea what that means. I didn't see Professor G's video, so I can't comment on it. That's okay. Don't worry about it, Rudy. I'll figure it out. I haven't checked my mail in a while. Jason said, Americans have been very curious about our accent. Yeah, they think you're from Australia. Yep. Hey, Rena. I've missed so many lives. We've been waiting since February last year when we first applied. Being patient, we are under you since November. Okay. Too many scams, South Africans. They're about this program. Huh? I don't know what that means, Dean. Well, okay, first off, friend, let me clarify, you guys. None of you applied last year. February, March, April, that was just expressing interest. Statement of interest wasn't an application. The first application came in November. So you expressed your interest until November. From November, the intake questionnaire was an application. It's a matter of semantics, but for accuracy. Annalena says, we owe you eternal gratitude. Well, thank you. Okay, my glass of wine is finished. 13-hour workday. Wow. Okay, good night. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, creepy. See, it's terrible watching Larry King. Yep. We are on MA, arrived 5 weeks ago. What do you mean on MA? Do you mean in MA, Massachusetts? Employment. Well, you should come on and do an interview before you get a job. Then you can't do an interview. Yeah, okay, Vanessa. Yes, you see the conundrum. You're for September, but waiting patiently. Yep, see, that's a conundrum. That's why, I mean, everyone thinks that they're special. Everyone thinks that their case is unique. Everyone thinks that they've been waiting longer than anyone else. Everyone thinks it's unfair. I'm embellishing, but I'm making a point. The point is that nobody's special. Nobody's more urgent. Nobody gets special treatment. That's just the way this thing plays out. And people don't want to hear that, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. Yeah, I do have over 3,000 followers on Facebook. Let me see if I can even log into Facebook here. I don't know if I can log in here. I can on my phone. Oh, I'm in. Good. Okay, that's good news. So, come on. Let me go over there and switch over. Hopefully it won't ask me to prove who I am or something like that. Because I have to do it on my phone, and I'm using my phone. Robbie Vasels. Okay, let me see. Yeah, 3,600. So I started the day with, last night I went from 2,000 to 2,700. And when I left this afternoon, it was at 3,000. So now 600 more have joined since this afternoon. So I went from 1,000 last week to 3,600 this week. That's a good start. So I did the video welcoming people. John Daly. How's that? 15,000 views on that one. 17,000 views on that one. 105,000 views on my short. 105,000 views on my short about maybe the number of refugees picking up will come over here. 105,000. Meanwhile, on this crappy network, on that short, I have 21,000. 5 times as many, and I have less than 4,000 subscribers there. And here I have 123,000 subscribers. I only have 21,000 views. This is such crap. YouTube is such dirty shysters. Dirty shysters. This is such bullshit. Anyway. Yep, so it's 3,600 now on Facebook. It's funny, though, how people we stayed with hadn't even had an interview date already in the USA. I don't understand, Helena. How can people not have an interview and come to the USA? I'm going to call bullshit on that. Lofty Music, you are like an hour behind. That was an hour ago we were talking about onions. Okay, Lofty, I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody's eating nuts. All right, I intended to come on and do a half hour for this because it's late and I'm going to be up to do rugby here shortly. Okay, Rena, thanks. No, X, I have 13,600 or 700, but this hasn't been growing for a few months. Oh, YouTube are definitely manipulating the figures. I don't think it's due to revenue, Charles. I think it's due to shadow banning. Okay, so what lean as when we had gone to Joburg for interviews in November, they hadn't got dates yet. Oh, okay. You went for interviews in November. They had not had their interviews. They went for interviews after that, and they've left already. That's what you're saying. Okay, that's clear, Helena. What you first said wasn't clear. Dutch settled the area that I'm in, farms and tulips, traditional windmill, little town. Sounds like Iowa. Yeah, no, my X count is 13,700. It's not that many, so. Anyway. Just looking here real quickly at something. Oh, my trash bill just came in. It's going to be due at the end of March, that'll be my guess. Let me see. It tells me. $97. I have to pay $97 now to have my rubbish taken away. You know, it used to be $52 when I moved where I'm at. Such a ripoff. Such a freaking ripoff. Just unbelievable how they rip us off. World Rugby Shop. Nope, I'm not buying your crap anymore. You bastards robbed me. You bastards robbed me. Oh, my ticket listing sold. Yay. All right. So I got $60 back from the 90 I spent. So I got something back. Someone bought my ticket tonight. They swooped in and bought it. Whew. When did they buy it? Oh, this afternoon, 106 when I lowered it. Okay, cool. So I'll get something back from my ticket I bought by mistake. I missed out on that. So who won that game, by the way? Let me see. Google. Okay, let's see. NHL's what I want, not that. NHL. Sold my ticket back. I bought it by mistake the other night. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Vegas lost to Washington. So shame. That's the one. Right. Okay, guys. 1 hour. What's this? Yeah, there'll be a meet and greet in Vegas. Absolutely. 27 March to 27, 31 March. I'll be in Vegas. I'm going to a couple hockey games, but I'm going out there to meet refugees. That's what it's all about. Any visits scheduled in Maryland? No, I don't know any refugees in Maryland. Are you in Maryland? Maryland is very close to me, depending where you're at. Well, I can't take the rubbish to the landfill. It costs you have to pay to go into the landfill. What can I do? Try to explain again since my husband passed during medicals. I did send his death certificate, but my case still says 3 months and not adjudicated. Nothing you can do. It's my life. Hopefully this reset will sort everything out. Nothing you can do. Good night, Charles. All right. Yep, so my ticket did sell. So, all right. You guys take care. I'm going to get some rest and get up for the rugby in about 5 or 6 hours. You'll be in Vegas. I'll be in Naples. Okay. Lofty says, you're a big part of history. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome, Lofty. Okay. Yep. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you a little bit later on, okay? For the rugby. Hang in there. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button if you don't mind. How are we doing on likes, by the way? I'm just curious. Stream settings. You got many likes. 180 likes. Not bad. No super chats, but that's okay. All right. You guys take care. I'll see you for the rugby. Cheers. And we'll be back with the Oosthuizens in the afternoon. Cheers.